Double salute to the people. What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Hopefully your Wednesday is going absolutely amazing. And if it ain't, I'm just praying that it get a lot better, man. Nothing but salutations, blessings, positivity. I'm sending y'all way, man. You already know what type of time I'm on, man. Influence Boxing in the building. You already know we finna get that good boxing news straight to y'all. And if y'all interested in anything I gotta say, or even if you're not interested, somehow you ended up clicking the video. Somehow you ended up clicking the video. You ended up seeing my face. You ended up seeing my white hat. You ended up seeing the topic at hand. You have seen the title. Look, whether you watch 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, the whole entire video, either way, man, it doesn't take that much to hit the like button. So please hit the like button. Help your boy get into the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, man, because of course, if you're not part of the Black Goose TV family, that don't make no goddamn sense. Notification gang, so you know whenever I'm dropping, because y'all know I drop at the weirdest times, my nigga, and I drop whenever I feel like it. But I'm always gonna give y'all some content. So make sure your notification gang, so you know when that actually drops, and you know what I'm saying, you right on that right away. Especially if you a hater. If you a hater and you like, man, nigga, I want to really talk that shit, hit the notification gang, because you could be the first one, you know what I'm saying, to these videos talking shit. So yeah, do that. And then of course, last but not least, man, comment on this motherfucker, man. Comment like crazy, man. Say what you got to say, whether you agree, disagree, whether you got nothing to do with the video. I really don't care, man. I'm just right now just trying to get into that algorithm side of the game, and all the things I just previously said helps that. So look, if you support the, you know what I'm saying, Black Goose TV family, man, if you support Fluence Boxing, man, show your love. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shy with it. But anyways, now that's all out of the way, man. We're gonna get into this particular topic, man. By the way, it's a little bit slow on the boxing side of the game when it comes to the day, but I got some things that I do want to discuss. One of the first things that I am coming at y'all with is this particular article, is this particular video, is this particular title. I said video, not necessarily video, but more so, you know what I'm saying, me dissecting what's going on. And there's not much to dissect. It's really me announcing, like, hey, guess what? To all my Keith Thurman fans and all my Keith Thurman haters, he's back. He's going to be back, and he's coming back this October. Now, let me dial this in a little bit. All right. I'm very excited about this. As y'all know, if you OG, you know what I'm saying, OG family members, y'all know what's going on. Y'all know the type of time I bring, type of energy I bring when it comes to fighters that I really put in a high esteem. And what I mean by a high esteem is I'm not necessarily judging the skill, but they just my favorite fighters, right? They're the ones I fucked with since I was a young nigga. They're the niggas I, you know what I'm saying, I was watching coming up, getting older. And I really just, you know, that's what got me into the, you know, the love and the sport of boxing. You know, I say I present the videos a different way, different type of energy. I do my best to stay unbiased, right? But if I do decide to be biased, I do my best to give you guys a disclaimer and be like, yo, look, this is the case. This is why y'all might see this type of energy. Y'all can hate me for it. Y'all can love me for it. I really don't care. I just appreciate y'all watching it. Right? This is going to be one of those situations because we're talking about Keith Thurman, man. I always turn up when it comes to Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman is one of my favorite fighters. But I'm going to say this right off the bat, man. It makes me feel like an old nigga because I'm like, this is the first time I've seen Keith Thurman fight 2 times in 1 year. And once again, it's not necessarily confirmed because we don't have an actual opponent, but I don't have any reason to doubt that Keith Thurman won't fight in October. But this is the first time I think in years I'm like, damn, this nigga Keith Thurman finna fight 2 times in 1 year. Isn't that crazy? Like, that makes me feel like an old nigga. Like, god damn, like, because, you know what I'm saying, I came up watching Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was my favorite at 147. You know what I'm saying? He dominated the 147 division. Before y'all young guns went to talk about Terrence Crawford and y'all want to talk about Earl Spence Jr., etc., it was Keith Thurman. He was that guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a dude. He dominated. He was an absolute beast. You know what I'm saying? Boxing stylistically, he was a beautiful boxer. Had all the fundamentals down. He also had power in both hands. They didn't call him one time for nothing. Like, Keith Thurman was different. You know what I'm saying? And the disrespect that he gets now, man, it hurts my soul because it just tells me that it's like, it's a what have you done for me lately, you know, type of mindset when it comes to most sports these days. Like, a lot of people, man, I was just watching some shit. I forgot, I think I was watching Undisputed, and it was disrespecting Shaq, talking about they'll put Steph Curry over Shaq. And it's like, man, this is really a what have you done for me lately type world, because I'm just like, the fact that people forgot about Keith Thurman so quick. I see people, you know what I'm saying, when I give Keith Thurman praise, they were like, Earl Spence would wash him, and he didn't want to give Earl Spence his chance, so fuck him. And I'm just like, that tells me that y'all didn't become boxing fans, or at least y'all didn't start paying attention to the welterweight division until Earl Spence started doing his thing. Because, nigga, Keith Thurman would have washed Earl Spence on his come up. Earl Spence is nowhere. Like, now the Earl Spence that we're talking about, okay, bet. It's going to be a tough fight for Keith. But when everyone was saying, oh, Keith Thurman is ducking Earl, Keith Thurman would have washed him, bro. Washed him. And I don't care how y'all feel about it. And remember, man, I got the disclaimer. I told y'all the disclaimer. Like, The same thing with the Jamal Charlo video. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people coming at me for the Jamal Charlo. Like, oh, what the fuck you talking about? It's all good, my nigga. Like, when I'm passionate about something, I'll be 100 with you. And I don't mind y'all coming at me and telling me I'm wrong, I'm biased, this, that, and the third is all good, man. Just come with whatever you thinking and make sure you come with some very coherent and clear reasoning behind why you thinking the way you thinking. Because if you just on some fuck shit, I'm not even gonna pay attention to it. Because I'm like, nigga, you just a fanboy. Y'all can look at me the same way, but I'm coming at you with some very coherent, clear, precise information. Thurman ran the 147 division before everyone wanted to talk about who's the king, Earl Spence or Terrence. Like, Keith Thurman was so goddamn dominant at the 147 division that ain't nobody else talk. No one talked about any other 147 during the time Keith Thurman was doing his thing. Keith Thurman made PBC what it was in reference to the 147 division being so dominant because of what he did. Because you have to understand, when Floyd Mayweather ended up, you know what I'm saying, going away and taking his time off and all these different things. And of course, Floyd, you know, he fluctuated through, you know, all types of different weight classes. 147 wasn't just the only weight class, but Floyd carried that Showtime PBC 147 division when he did decide to fight there. When he hung up the gloves, or not necessarily hung up, but decided not necessarily fight at that weight class again, depending on what the situation was, Thurman was the one who kept that shit going and kept that shit rocking. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't remember, like, Thurman made Danny Garcia a name. He made Sean Porter a name. Sean Porter and Danny Garcia would not be looked at as elite the way we looked at it if it wasn't for the close fight that he had with Keith, the close fight that both of them had with Keith Thurman, because at the time we saw Keith Thurman as that nigga. We said Keith Thurman is unbeatable. No one could touch him. And the fact that Danny Garcia and Sean Porter had close fights with him, even though they both were in Keith Thurman's favor, that's where they really popped. And we were like, oh, Sean Porter is at the upper echelons of 147. Oh, Danny Garcia is at the upper echelons of 147. People were not saying that before. We paid attention. We had an eye on it, but no one was saying that until he fought Keith. So that was a long rant, man. My bad. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked, especially when I feel passionate about something. But I just, it is what it is, man. It makes me feel old because I'd be like, man, so many people have shit to talk about Keith Thurman. So many people like, oh, Earl would wash him, And it's like, I don't know how great Keith was. You know what I'm saying? Keith did way more shit than Earl at 147 during his prime. Now, of course, Earl did run into some problems, you know, with the car accident, etc. I think if that never happened, I do think Earl, I would easily be saying, now this is taking away my bias, I'd be easily saying Earl has done much more at 147. But because of all the, outside problems he's had, the delays in certain things, he has done great things at 147. I'm not saying he hasn't. He definitely has. He's definitely the top pound for pound right now in the 147 division. He's 1-2 with Terrence Crawford. All I am saying is when you look at the totality of their career, Keith Thurman did more at 147 up to this point than Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. Obviously, that's going to change because Earl is going to continue fighting, and I do believe they're going to surpass Keith Thurman as well as Terrence Crawford, depending on how it goes and blah, blah, blah. I actually think I give Terrence Crawford a little bit of that. No, I still got Keith Thurman, no problem. But as far as resume and what they did during their prime time, now that's going to change. But who knows in what favor is going to change, because like I'm saying here, Keith Thurman is going to fight in October. This is the first time I've seen Keith Thurman fighting 2 times in 1 year in probably the last 4 or 5 years. We know Keith Thurman had a ridiculous amount of injuries, but if Keith Thurman can come back, he beat Barrios, let's say he fights Ugas, beats him, if he's able to continue on his legacy, if let's say he doesn't fight Spence or doesn't fight Crawford, or Spence and Crawford doesn't happen, but he continues to win against, these guys at 147 that either Crawford or Spence beat, and we want to elevate them and put them on a pedestal, Keith Thurman will, when he retires, will go down as a much better welterweight than Spence and Terrence Crawford when we look back at it. Now, Terrence Crawford might be a little bit of a speculative type thing because we're talking about a guy who came up in weight classes and he dominated every weight class. So it might be hard because if we're talking about the totality of the resume, but definitely better than Earl Spence. If y'all don't like that, y'all got problems with it, please drop it below. Come at me because I know I'm gonna get some hate if you guys make it this far into the video. But let's go ahead and get into this article. Let's see if we have an idea of who Keith Thurman might fight in October. He's saying he would love that you're doing Yordenis Ugas match. I don't think Ugas is going to come back that quickly after that fight with Earl Spence and getting a broken orbital. He made a lot of money with fighting Earl, and then obviously he made a lot of money fighting Pacquiao. So I see Ugas probably sitting out for the rest of the year to heal. But I definitely would love to see the Keith Thurman versus Ugas fight. But I definitely want to see what is it. And remember, guys, even though everyone wants to say Keith is old, he's only 33 years old. Anyone wants to put that into perspective, Terrence Crawford is 33, 34 years old. He might be 35 if I'm mistaken. And then Earl Spence is 32. So as much as y'all want to say he's an old nigga, he's right there at the same age as these top guys. So he has a lot of, trust me, just be careful. So Thurman says he's ballooned up to 188 pounds while sitting on the couch recovering. He needs to get his weight down to 160 before he starts training camp for his fight in October. Let's see what he had to say to the PBC podcast. He said, I had a roller coaster and I was trying to be more active this year. I never got the phone call that I was going to get a summer fight. And they said I was going to get pushed back a little bit more. I relaxed a little bit more and I wasn't fully on my weight management the way that I want to be. Plus, I ended up contracting COVID for the second time this year. 7 days recovering from COVID, ordering Uber Eats, sitting on the couch, not doing nada. I stepped on the scale when I recovered and I was 188. So I got back in the gym the following week. By the next Friday, I was down to 182. Before I got COVID, they were saying fall. Then they were saying September, October. And then I started hearing what that might look like October after October. I'm tired of waiting. I'm looking forward to the October date. I still don't have a legitimate name. I was supposed to get a few names. So anybody that says this is Thurman's next opponent is kind of a rumor because I was supposed to get a list and I was supposed to go over with my team. I look forward to getting an actual list names for true opponents for Keith Thurman's next up-and-coming fight. Yes, that Thurman, when asked me to be interested in fighting Yordenis Ugas, we can't start playing the measuring stick game for that purpose. I think it's a good fight. We're just slowly working on our diet and getting our body moving. We got a lot to do in July here. I think July will be a great month for weight management. By the end of July, if I can be somewhere from 168 to 165 in preparation for my next training camp, that will be ideal. It's been a long time since I've been under 172, which is 22-pound weight drop. That's my average for most of my fights. For my fight against Manny Pacquiao, it was even worse. I was at 182 at the start of the camp, so it was a 35-pound weight drop. That didn't help me in my preparation. Then I had to focus so much on losing weight rather than on the strategy for victory. So I've been learning from the past. I have my goals set, and I have plenty of time to accomplish. So that's why I'm moving now. And anybody who wants to say Keith Thurman is capping or he's making excuses, y'all don't know Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is notoriously known for being very, very frugal with his money. If you guys actually weren't aware of it for the Pacquiao fight, there was pictures of him getting ready for his camp, and he was training at a LA Fitness. So Keith Thurman is notoriously known for his very weird and strange tactics for training. He won't spend a lot of money on his preparation. He won't spend a lot of money really on anything. He's very old school about it. He thinks he can get it done. I think if Thurman is able to switch that and kind of get a little bit more like, hey, let's pay this money for this, you know what I'm saying? Let's take it out of the hands of myself and thinking I know everything. And let me, put it into actually my preparation. So people are, overseeing things that I don't have to worry about other than getting in shape and getting ready for the game plan. That would help. I think he did that for Barrios, which is why he looked in the best shape of his life. Hopefully he does it for this fight, and he continues to do it so he stays healthy, he stays strong, and hopefully he gets the chance at one of these bigger names at 147 to really prove to you guys that you guys are really disrespecting a guy like Thurman. But with that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that. I feel like I made this video way too long than it should have. I should have just been really talking about the basic shit, but it's Keith Thurman. Had to go a little bit extra into it. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Drop below in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, man, on Schwarzenegger side.